3. Proven ways to align with the vibration of the fifth dimension instantly. Have you ever felt like there's something more, like the reality you experience is just a fraction of what's truly possible? Maybe you've had moments where time seemed to slow down, where synchronicities lined up so perfectly that you wondered if the universe was speaking directly to you. Or perhaps you felt an unshakable sense of peace and connection to everything around you, if only for a fleeting moment. What if I told you that these moments are glimpses into a higher reality, a reality that exists beyond the dense, chaotic energy of the 3D world? The fifth dimension is not a distant fantasy. It's here, now, waiting for you to attune to its frequency. And today I'm going to share with you 3 proven ways to align with the vibration of the fifth dimension instantly. But before we dive in, I need you to do one thing. Open your mind, because what I'm about to share will challenge everything you think you know about reality. To truly understand the fifth dimension, we must first acknowledge the limitations of the 3D world. The third dimensional reality is governed by linear time, physical matter, and the illusion of separation. It's a world where we believe we are our bodies, our thoughts, and our circumstances. It's a reality of cause and effect, where we struggle, strive, and often feel disconnected from something greater. But the truth is, the 3D world is not the ultimate reality. It's just one layer of existence. Beyond it lies the fourth dimension, where time becomes more fluid, where thoughts shape reality more directly, and beyond that is the fifth dimension, where unity consciousness reigns, where love is the primary force, and where miracles become the norm rather than the exception. The fifth dimension is not a place you travel to. It's a state of being. It's a frequency that you tune into, and the moment you align with it, everything changes. The first way to align with the vibration of the fifth dimension is to shift from fear to love. Fear is the dominant frequency of the 3D world. It keeps us trapped in survival mode, in competition, in scarcity. It convinces us that we are separate from others, that we must fight for our place, that we must constantly seek validation from the external world. But love, true, unconditional love, is the language of the fifth dimension. It is the energy that dissolves all illusions of separation. It is the force that unites all beings, that connects every soul to the infinite intelligence of the universe. The moment you shift from fear to love, you step out of the constraints of the 3D world and into the fluid, limitless energy of the higher realms. But here's the real question. How do you do it? How do you shift from fear to love when the world around you constantly bombards you with reasons to be afraid? The answer is radical presence. Fear only exists in the past or the future. It cannot survive in the now. When you become fully present, when you sink deeply into the moment, fear dissolves. Try this right now. Take a deep breath. Feel the air moving into your lungs. Notice the sensations in your body. Listen to the sounds around you. Be here, fully. In this moment, there is no fear. There is only awareness. This is your gateway to the fifth dimension.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But let's take it even deeper. If love is the frequency of the fifth dimension, then the way to fully embody it is through unconditional acceptance. Can you love yourself exactly as you are, without needing to change a thing? Can you love others even when they trigger you, even when they don't meet your expectations? The fifth dimension operates on the principle that everything is perfect as it is. When you resist life, when you judge yourself or others, you lower your frequency. But when you surrender to what is, when you embrace each moment with an open heart, you align with the higher realms. And this isn't just a nice idea, it's a practice. Right now, think of something in your life that you've been resisting. Maybe it's a situation, a person, or even a part of yourself. What would happen if, instead of fighting it, you simply allowed it to be? What if you stopped trying to fix, control, or change it, and instead just met it with love? This is the path to instant alignment. And here's where things get even more mind-blowing. The moment you shift into the vibration of love and acceptance, reality itself begins to shift around you. You've heard of the law of attraction, but have you ever truly experienced it? In the fifth dimension, manifestation is instantaneous because there is no resistance. The universe mirrors your energy perfectly. If you radiate love, if you move through life with an open heart, synchronicities will flood your reality. The right people, opportunities, and experiences will appear effortlessly. But most people never experience this because they are stuck in a cycle of resistance. They want change, but they are unwilling to let go of their old patterns, their old fears, their old limitations. So here's the question: are you willing to let go? Are you willing to release everything that no longer serves you, even if it means stepping into the unknown? Because in the fifth dimension, there is no need for control, there is only trust. And trust is the key that unlocks the infinite. Now, let's pause for a moment. Let everything you've just heard sink in. Feel it in your body. Notice the subtle shifts in your energy. The fifth dimension is not something you chase, it's something you allow. And in this very moment, you are already closer to it than you've ever been. But we're just getting started, because next, we're going to explore something even more powerful. How to transcend the illusion of time and step into the quantum field, where all possibilities exist at once. Are you ready? Let's go. The quantum leap. How to transcend time and access infinite possibilities. Time. We live by it, measure our lives with it, and often feel trapped by it. We wake up to alarms, chase deadlines, and watch the years slip through our fingers like grains of sand. But what if I told you that time, as you know it, is an illusion? What if I told you that past, present, and future are not separate, but happening simultaneously? That every possible version of your life, every dream you've ever had, every path you could have taken, already exists, waiting for you to step into it. This is not just a philosophical idea, it is the very nature of reality in the fifth dimension. In the 3D world, we experience time in a linear way, one moment after another, like beads on a string. But in higher dimensions, time is not a straight line. It's a vast field of energy where all possibilities exist at once. The version of you that is living your highest potential, the version of you that has already healed, already succeeded, already awakened, it's not in the future, it's here now. And when you learn to step beyond the illusion of time, you can shift into that reality instantly. So how do you do it? How do you break free from the linear timeline and access the infinite now? The key is awareness. Most people live their lives unconsciously, repeating the same patterns day after day, believing that change takes time. But time is just a filter, a construct of the mind. The moment you expand your awareness beyond the present moment, you begin to access the quantum field, where change is instantaneous. Try this right now. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Imagine that time does not exist. Imagine that you are floating in an infinite space where past, present, and future are merging into one. Now, ask yourself, who am I in my highest state? What does that version of me feel like? How does that version of me think, speak, and move through the world? Let yourself fully embody that energy. Feel it in your body. Let it become real, because it is real. You are not imagining a future, you are tuning into a frequency that already exists. Most people believe they must work hard, struggle, or earn their way to their desires. But in the quantum field, manifestation happens through alignment, not effort. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you want to experience the highest version of your life, you must become the version of you that already has it. This is not about pretending, it's about shifting your state of being. The fifth dimension responds to energy, not effort. If you feel abundant now, abundance will flow to you. If you feel love now, love will surround you. If you feel limitless now, the universe will reflect that limitlessness back to you. And here's where it gets even deeper. The moment you stop seeing time as a barrier, you activate your ability to quantum leap. A quantum leap is not a small, gradual shift. It is an instant, radical transformation. It happens when you let go of the belief that change takes time. When you fully surrender to the knowing that you are already the person you wish to become, reality rearranges itself to match your new frequency. Have you ever had an experience where everything changed overnight? Where something you had been struggling with for years suddenly resolved itself in an instant? That was a quantum leap. And the truth is, you can create these shifts at will. But here's the real question. What are you still holding on to from your past? What beliefs, identities, or patterns are keeping you anchored in a timeline that no longer serves you? Because here's the thing, you cannot step into the fifth dimension while carrying the weight of the past. The 3D world is built on stories. Stories of who you are, what you've been through, what is possible for you. But none of those stories are real. They are just mental constructs, illusions, that dissolve the moment you stop believing in them. So I ask you, what happens if you let go? What happens if you stop identifying with your past, stop defining yourself by old struggles, stop believing that transformation has to take years? What if you allowed yourself to shift right now without hesitation? Because the truth is, the only thing keeping you from your highest reality is the belief that you are not already there. The fifth dimension is not something you reach, it is something you remember. It is the memory you're some other places. It is something you choose. And in this very moment, as you listen to these words, you are already stepping into it. You are already expanding beyond time, beyond limitation, beyond the small self that once believed in struggle. Feel it. Breathe it in. You are not becoming, you are arriving. You are here. Now. But we're not done yet, because next we're going to unlock something even more powerful, the secret to dissolving all resistance and allowing miracles to become your new normal. The art of surrender. How letting go unlocks miracles. Instantly. There is a force in the universe more powerful than effort, stronger than willpower, and more transformative than any strategy or technique. It is the force that moves the tides, that orchestrates the stars, that breathes life into every moment. It is the energy that makes miracles not only possible but inevitable. And yet, most people resist it. They fight against it, unknowingly blocking the very things they desire the most. That force is surrender. We have been conditioned to believe that control is power, that if we just try harder, push more, plan every detail, we can force life to bend to our will. But have you ever noticed that the more you try to control something, the more resistance you create? The more you chase after something, the more it seems to slip through your fingers? This is because control is rooted in fear. The fear that if you don't hold on tightly, everything will fall apart. But what if the opposite were true? What if letting go was the key to everything you've ever wanted? Surrender is not weakness. It is not passivity. It is the highest form of trust. It is the realization that you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe. And the universe is always working in your favor, even when it doesn't seem like it. The only thing that ever blocks the flow of miracles is resistance. And resistance comes from attachment, the attachment to how things should be, when they should happen, and what they should look like. But here's the truth. Your mind can only see a fraction of the infinite possibilities available to you. What if the path you are clinging to is not the highest path? What if something even greater is trying to reach you, but you are too busy holding on to your own limited idea of what is possible? Close your eyes for a moment. Take a breath. Feel the tension in your body, the areas where you are holding on. Whether it's to a specific outcome, a fear, a belief about yourself. Now, ask yourself, what would happen if I let go? What if I fully trusted that everything is unfolding exactly as it should? Feel the immediate lightness, the relief. This is surrender, and this is the doorway to the fifth dimension. In the fifth dimension, everything flows effortlessly. Manifestation is instantaneous, not because you are forcing it, but because you are no longer resisting it. Imagine a river. When you fight against the current, when you try to swim upstream, you exhaust yourself, you struggle, you suffer. But the moment you surrender to the flow, the river carries you effortlessly to where you are meant to go. Life is the same way. The energy of the universe is always guiding you, always leading you toward your highest path. But most people spend their lives swimming against the current, trying to force things to happen instead of allowing them to unfold naturally. So how do you practice surrender in your daily life? How do you let go when your mind is screaming at you to hold on? The first step is awareness. Notice where you are gripping too tightly. Are you attached to a specific outcome in your relationships, in your career, in your personal growth? Ask yourself, if I knew with absolute certainty that everything was working out for my highest good, how would I feel right now? How would I act? The answer is simple. You would relax. You would stop worrying. You would trust. And in that state of trust, you would become magnetic to everything you desire. But let's take it even deeper. True surrender is not just about letting go of external control. It is about releasing the illusion of the separate self. The ego, the small self, thrives on control because it believes it is separate from the universe. It believes it must struggle, must fight, must prove itself worthy. But the moment you surrender, you dissolve the ego's illusions. You step into the vast, infinite intelligence that is your true nature. And from that space, miracles are no longer rare occurrences. They become your natural state of being. Think about the most magical moments in your life, the times when everything aligned perfectly, when opportunities came out of nowhere, when life surprised you in the best way possible. Did you force those moments to happen? Or did they come when you were in a state of openness, of flow, of surrender? The universe is always speaking to you, always orchestrating miracles on your behalf. But you must be willing to step out of the way. You must be willing to trust that what is meant for you will never miss you, and what is not meant for you will never stay. So here's the question. What are you afraid will happen if you truly let go? If you stop trying to control every detail? If you surrendered fully to the guidance of the universe? What do you fear? And now ask yourself this. What if your deepest fears were actually illusions? What if by letting go you didn't lose control, but instead gained true freedom? Because that is exactly what happens. As you listen to these words, you are already shifting, already releasing, already stepping into the infinite flow of the universe. Feel it, breathe it in. The more you trust, the more life will astonish you. The more you surrender, the more effortlessly everything will align. And the more you let go, the more you will realize you were never lost. You were never alone. You were always being guided, always being held. But we're not done yet, because next we are going to unlock the final and most powerful secret. The one thing that will allow you to embody the fifth dimension permanently, so that you never fall back into the limitations of the 3D world again. Becoming the fifth dimension. How to permanently anchor higher consciousness in your reality. You've felt it. That shift, that undeniable expansion, that moment where everything clicks, where you rise beyond the noise of the world and touch something so vast, so infinite, that it changes you forever. But then what? Too often, after glimpsing the higher dimensions, people fall back into the density of the 3D world. They get pulled back into old patterns, old fears, old limitations. The magic fades, and they wonder if it was ever real at all. But what if I told you that you never have to fall back? That you can anchor the fifth dimension so deeply into your being that it becomes your default state? That awakening isn't just a fleeting experience. It is a way of existing. This is the final key. You do not visit the fifth dimension, you become it. You embody it so fully that it transforms the way you think, the way you speak, the way you move through the world. And when you do, your entire reality shifts to match that frequency. The people around you change, opportunities flow effortlessly, synchronicities become constant. Life stops being something you struggle through and becomes something you create. But how do you make this shift permanent? How do you ensure that you never slip back into the illusions of limitation? The answer is integration. Spiritual awakening is not just about experiencing higher states. It is about living them. It is about rewiring your mind, your body, and your energy field to operate at a new frequency. Not just in meditation or in moments of inspiration, but in every breath, every interaction, every choice you make. The first step to full integration is radical self-awareness. You must become deeply conscious of your energy in every moment. Are you operating from fear or from love? Are you reacting or are you creating? Are you moving through life unconsciously or are you fully awake to the energy you are embodying? Every thought, every emotion, every belief is shaping your reality. The fifth dimension is not a place. It is a state of being, and the more you choose to embody that state, the more solid it becomes. But here's where most people get stuck. They believe that awakening means never experiencing fear, never facing challenges, never feeling doubt. But the truth is, those things don't disappear, they just stop controlling you. The difference between someone who is anchored in the fifth dimension and someone who is not is how they respond. And when challenges arise, do you collapse back into fear or do you meet them with awareness? When doubt creeps in, do you believe it or do you witness it as an old program playing out? The key is detachment. You must become the observer of your own experience. You are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, you are the awareness behind them. And when you fully embody that awareness, nothing can pull you back into the lower frequencies. The second step to permanent integration is embodiment through action. It is not enough to understand these concepts intellectually, you must live them. Every decision you make, every word you speak, every way you show up in the world must be a reflection of the fifth dimensional energy. Ask yourself, how does my highest self move through the world? How does my highest self respond to challenges, to others, to opportunities? And then, instead of waiting for change, become that version of you now. This is how you lock in the frequency. And finally, the most powerful key to anchoring higher consciousness is presence. The mind will always try to pull you into the past or push you into the future. It will try to convince you that you are not there yet, that you still have work to do, that you must still become. But the fifth dimension is only accessible now. The more present you are, the deeper you anchor into the higher frequencies. The moment you fully surrender to the now, without resistance, without seeking, without effort, you have arrived. So, I ask you, what if there is nothing more to seek? What if you are already there? Feel that. Breathe that in. You are not on a journey to the fifth dimension, you are the fifth dimension. Right here, right now, you have always been. And the moment you fully accept that, your entire reality will transform to reflect it. This is your awakening. This is your truth. And now, it is time to live it.